Congressman, when it comes to these shutdowns, we're seeing across the country, especially right now, we're focusing on Nashville, that we have public officials that have not been truthful with we the people about the COVID numbers, even though they're keeping the people they held responsible for COVID, like locked down. I'm talking about restaurants, I'm talking about bars and other industries. Isn't this a fair question to ask? Like, who's going to be held accountable when this whole thing is over?
No, that is a fair question. And so what I would tell you is, in my opinion, the vast majority of the economic harm and the secondary public health harm that we've seen, the education harm, all of those are coming from state and local governments. And in many cases, I think that those are tantamount to an unconstitutional taking. I think then that the state has got to and the local jurisdictions have got to pony up and pay like you would if they take your property or if they downzone and those types of things that really impact the value of your property. They've impacted the value of your people's businesses. They've shut down. Some estimates will be 40% of businesses will never reopen. So you're looking at people who've made these decisions and they don't want to be held accountable. They keep saying, well, let's have the federal government bail you out. Well, here's the deal about the federal government. You know this. Your listeners know this. The federal government has basically sent over $3.5 trillion in coronavirus relief, and they're talking about doing more. But all that money is going to be paid for not by this generation, but by a future generation. And the states and local jurisdictions right now want to be taken off the hook. That's what's the big holdup in D.C. right now is the states and locals say, hey, we want to be off the hook. But they're the ones who imposed these lockdowns.
You know, right now we have news that Nancy Pelosi is playing games when it comes to the latest coronavirus bailout. What's odd to me is, I don't want to see another bailout. For the reasons you just said, I don't want to put the future generations, further trillions of dollars in hock. And yet we have governors like Ducey that are saying, hey, well, we did our job. It's time for Congress to do their job. Is it true, just to drill down a little bit deeper, that we have a lot of blue states, and unfortunately we have Arizona included in there, that are trying to squeeze more money out of the taxpayers of the country because of the mismanagement of their states?
Yeah, oh man, yes, that unequivocally, yes, and that's where Nancy Pelosi is right now, and that's one of her big problems is she's trying to do more, and then you've got this so-called moderate group in the of 50 members from both parties who are saying, well, let's try to find a happy medium. And you know what the happy medium is? It's about $1.5 trillion. That's the happy medium. And the thing I keep saying to folks is, if you open up the economy, because the foundation was strong, you'll see a rebound, and you'll see it come quicker rather than later.
I believe we would see a rebound. The president talks about a V-shaped curve, that things will start rolling back. I believe that if the states were opening up, that would happen. But then that begs the question, we have Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring of the conservative circus. That begs the question, you're in Washington, D.C., you work with the Democrats. These are your colleagues. Congressman, is there really a fear of COVID on their side of the aisle, or are we really watching games being played? Is it now COVID been weaponized as a strategy to try to defeat President Trump in November?
Well, I would be wrong if I didn't tell you that there's some of them that still have massive fear. These are the folks that are wearing masks in their own home and in their own car, and they put gloves on when they're driving their own car. You've got some of those people in Congress. And then you also have people who know that this is a tremendous weaponizing political issue, and so they're out there trying to weaponize it. And so that's where we are today. We know that that's probably where the speaker is, because she doesn't want to wear a mask any more than anybody else does, but she's going to kind of weaponize that thing every chance she gets.
Yeah, and she doesn't want to wear a mask any more than we do. She'll go get her hair did at the beauty salon, while the whole thing is closed up in San Francisco,
Correct.
and then chastise you later that day with a beautiful quaff about how you need to be doing more and how you're killing people for not wearing a mask. So that hypocrisy does exist. I'm just trying to get a gauge here because to me it seems so odd that we have so many cities still closed up when we've been told to follow the science, and the science clearly shows that that things are much better when it comes to the COVID-19 virus. Switching gears quickly, Congressman Andy Biggs, we have the vice president, we have more of the vice president's wife, we have the Trump administration in Arizona. What is going on? Do we see, to be quite frank, is the president behind in the great state of Arizona? Is that why we're seeing this blitzkrieg?
No, I think it's a close race. I think the president's up a little bit, but he knows that Arizona is a swing state, and he promised that he would be here a lot and get his people here a lot, and he is all in on that, and he's keeping that promise. And actually, this is what people wanted. They wanted Arizona to be in play and get all these folks coming in here, and they're getting that. And so it's kind of, in my opinion, it's a great thing.
And you're going to be with the vice president today?
Yes. Yeah.
And he's going to be speaking. Will he be speaking on veteran issues today?
Yes, today's issues are veterans issues.
See, and this is all in our wheelhouse. This is all something that I think that we're absolutely, all the issues that he promised that he would deal with when he was running for office, he's just going down the list and checking it through.